Well, hello everybody. It's Pearl of Wisdom, and this is the NHL Pearl of Wisdom show. Coming to you live from the Seattle apartment basement. Because I'm by myself. When I'm by myself, I like to hang out in the basement. How you doing, Devondra? I think everything should run smoothly today. We are going to try a little something. I'm going to try to take some snippets from the podcast or from this and try to make it into a video. So that'll be cool. Everything's working well. Well, we lost everybody. Are you there, Devondra? You can hear me okay? Is everything working well? Let me know. Everybody's gone. So anyways, last night the Islanders in Tampa Bay, and the Islanders just simply play how the Islanders play. They're amazing. I don't know how to say it any more than that. On paper, they probably shouldn't be beating Tampa Bay, but they consistently beat Tampa Bay every time. They consistently beat everybody all the time. It's amazing to watch. Is anybody there? Hello? Okay, there you are. Is there any issues, Devondra? Let me know. Because usually we got crap loads of people in here. Or whoever else is in there. So anyways, I'll look at the Islanders game, but I just can't believe how they are able to put up a game plan against teams and crush it like that. Tampa Bay looked totally lost. Whatever Tampa Bay's game plan was, didn't work like right away, and then they didn't know what to do after that. They were trying to do passes up the middle against the Islanders? Really? Okay, you worked with Carolina, but against the Islanders, that's the way you want to fly? I don't know. That's probably not a wise move to try to do long passes up the middle. And then once the Islanders show that ain't going to work, they look like they've got nothing. They got nothing. They don't know. They don't have another plan after that. Just hang around the perimeter and shoot shots at Varlamov the rest of the game. That's probably not going to work out too well for you. So I found that very interesting. They're going to have to change things around. I just couldn't believe that they just seemed to be lost after their first attempt at their program and didn't have any backup plan. I was very surprised. But they did. That's what they did. And we'll see what happens on tomorrow night. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. Tampa Bay's got to come in with a much better plan than they did. They just looked like they kind of thought that they were going to win for sure, and that was it. Hey, Mercer, how you doing, my friend? What did you guys think of the game? I'm trying to find ways to try to make it sound different than it was, but the truth was the Islanders had a plan in place to beat Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay had freaking nothing. Nothing. They really had no backup plan, it seemed. It was weird. Really weird. They looked pretty confident going in, too. They were like, oh, yeah, we got this figured out. And within like the first half of period, they realized they don't got nothing figured out. They got nothing. I think they knew they had nothing. And the Islanders' belief in themselves is unreal. Like right now, the Islanders are going back in Tampa Bay at home with not just the upper hand because they won a game, but I think they sort of have the upper hand in their belief of who's going to win this series. Like they look like a team that is not intimidated by Tampa Bay even a little bit. Like who cares? I don't care that you got Kucherov on your team. I don't care about your Stamkos and Vasilevskis and all of that. Like it's not even, they're not even there. In a way, I love the way they're playing. Because Tampa Bay is kind of a cocky team. They kind of think they got all that. They can just coast through the regular season and then bring it on in the playoffs. And they're the cup winners. They're going to intimidate just by their skill level and all of that. And New York Islanders didn't even give it a thought. Like, who are you? Whatever. I don't care. We got you. Easy. Yeah, but there was no intimidation at all by Tampa Bay. Nothing. I don't know. After what I saw that last game, man, I mean, they got to come with a totally different frame of mind against the Islanders next game. One thing that Tampa Bay has had a problem with is balancing their anger and their confidence. We'll see. I don't even know what to say about this series. We'll see. It's such a we'll see series. The Islanders just put a crap load of questions in anyone's mind about how good Tampa Bay is, because they didn't just win that game, they crushed that game. And if Tampa Bay came in overconfident, that's a worrisome thought. Like, why would you go in overconfident against an Islanders team like this? I don't know. Maybe they were humbled by it and they're going to come back and start playing a simpler game, a much more simple game. But I haven't really seen it all through this playoffs. Tampa Bay really play a simple game. Against Carolina, they were going for those long stretch passes up the middle. And for whatever reason, they were getting those with Carolina. They were nailing those. Carolina was trying to play their defense up, and Tampa Bay was getting away with it. But New York Islanders, I don't know why in the world they would ever think that the New York Islanders were going to play their defense up there. I'm baffled. Cooper's a great coach. I'm really baffled by everything that went on in that game. So anyways, I want to do something. I'm going to see if I can do something here. Remember the free agent thing we did? I'm going to see if we can do, we're going to do 10 players. I'm going to put it down as to what time. How do I do that? Yeah, there's a time here. I'm going to start it. Yeah, we're going to talk about that Vegas game for sure. I'm going to start it at a time, and then we're going to do the same thing we did before, except I'm going to do it after Dougie Hamilton, and then we're going to do a 10 player free agent thing where the team's going to go, and I'm going to mark it down on my page here, and I'm going to try to cut it out and use it as a video. So we'll see if we can do that. Does that sound like a cool thing? You guys want to do that? Hey, John, Whitechill's in the house. Welcome, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Do you guys want to do that or what? All right, let's do that. We're going to try to make a video with each other. Everybody together. You guys are going to be part of the video. So I'm going to go find the free agent, 21. Okay. Let me get it up here. So we're going to make a video together. It's going to be fun. We're going to start with Travis Zajac. Hopefully you guys can see this all right. We're going to start with Travis Zajac, and then we're going to go Mark Stahl, Gabriel Foligno, Goligoski, Schwartz, Hossa, and Bozak. Maybe Jalmerson. And we're going to talk about where they're all going to go. I'm going to mark down the times, and I'm going to try to turn it into a video. This should be fun. This should be fun stuff. Okay, cool. All right. Hello, everybody. We've been doing a free agent where they're going to go series. And this time, I'm going to do it in the middle of my live show, which we're doing right now. And so, as you can see, we got the free agent thing up here, and we're going to take a look at it. And the people in my chat here are going to tell us where they think each free agent is going to go. All right. So we're going to start with Travis Zajac. Travis Zajac is playing with the Islanders right now. Came over from New Jersey for a first-round pick, him and Palmieri. Yes, Hamilton does want $8 million. And we just did Hamilton on the last one, so you can take a look at that. He'll probably get it somewhere too. Travis Zajac, where do we think Travis Zajac will go? I'm thinking he stays on the island possibly. Mercer thinks that the Islanders will want to keep Travis Zajac. Okay, Mark Stahl. We were saying Carolina, right? Oh, Toronto for Travis Zajac. Good one, Whitechall. Okay, for you people that are listening in the chat here, Toronto, New York Islanders is who we got Travis Zajac going to. What do you think about that? Mark Stahl. Does he stay in Detroit? If he doesn't, I think we were saying Carolina, right? Yeah, it's not going to work. You know what? It's not going to work because we don't have enough people in here, so I'm just going to cancel that. We have to have more people, otherwise it's too much of a break in between. So maybe we'll try it later. But we will talk about Dougie Hamilton saying he wants $8 million a year. I got to turn my window capture off. We'll try that later when we got more people in. Dougie Hamilton saying he wants $8 million a year. It doesn't surprise me. That's probably what he can get in the open market. Carolina said basically go find out what you can get and then we'll talk to you afterwards, because that's the kind of team they are. They don't want anybody there. They don't want somebody to be there just because they paid them enough money to be there. You either want to be there or you don't want to be there. They'll give you a number, and if you don't like it, then you leave. Yeah, but he'll get 8. I'll bet you he gets $8 million. I don't know for how long, but I'll bet you somebody like LA. I think we were talking about LA taking him. I think he'll get $8 million easily. there's other teams like I wouldn't doubt the Rangers being in there, because they had problems with defense. He's not that old. He's only 28 years old, I believe. Is he even that old? 8 years, 8 million. Yeah, that might be tough in this environment. That might be tough in this environment. It depends on how much people like him. Analytics teams. The thing that he's got to be concerned about is he's gone to so many teams already in his young career. That's going to be kind of a red flag for teams. He's 27 years old, so he wants to get paid $8 million until he's 35. It's Hamilton is hard for me to say because I think there's teams out there that are gonna be out of it because they're too afraid to give a guy who's changed teams like 4 times already by the time he's 27 an 8-year contract, especially if he wants a no movement clause. There's going to be at least a couple teams they're going to be afraid of why that is, that every team lets him go or trades him off. I mean, it's like the too good to be true thing. The guy is a big 6'6", 229-pound defenseman that can put up 50 to 60 points a year. Well, last year he had 42 points in 55 games. I mean, why is everybody trading this guy away? Toronto can sign him, but I think they probably would trade Riley if they signed him. I think they would have to trade somebody to sign him, I would think. I'm going to change my title here. I don't know. You know what? I was talking in the Toronto boards, and there's a lot of people in Toronto that think that Riley's not very good. Riley's going to want the same amount of money, $8 million. So who would you rather have? Here's a question for you. Who would you rather have, Riley or Hamilton? Straight on the ice, I think it's about even. I don't know. Maybe Hamilton. I mean, Hamilton's bigger. He doesn't play huge, but he's way bigger. He's got a huge shot. The problem, again, is he seems to just annoy people or something. Do you guys you agree? He seems to annoy every team he goes to. You go with Hamilton. I mean, I like Hamilton in a lot of ways, but I really, 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 really want to get, like, I'd have my scouts and people out there going, find out why he gets traded all the time. Find out why he gets traded all the time. Hey, how you doing? It's not going to happen. Hamilton to the Oilers. Well, I mean, I suppose, let's look at that. Hamilton to the Oilers. They would have to not sign Larson, which I'd be fine with. They'd have to not sign Larson. I think it's possible. Let's see what they got for cap space here. Wow, they got 21 million in cap space next, but they got to sign. They don't need to sign Barry. Yeah, I could see it. Does he want to go to a small town like Edmonton? 8 million for 8 years though? Eesh. Man. I just want to know why he's always getting traded. In Boston, they said that he didn't want to be a Bruin, which I guess it had a lot to do with what they believed it meant to be a Bruin. He liked to party or something like that. I don't know. Those are just rumors. In Calgary, it doesn't make sense. Why did they trade him in Calgary? Barry to the Flyers? Oh boy. Wonder what Steele would think of that. That's a good one, buddy. Implicit's now in. You should have known Implicit was going to pop in the door. They're playing with, I don't know. They're playing with Barry Trotz has got those guys playing unbelievable. Barry to the Canucks. That sounds more like it. That sounds like something the Canucks would do. Very much sounds like something the Canucks would do. That would be ridiculous. I don't know what they're. Barry's not going to get much more than Gardner, I don't think, this year. Gardner got like $4 million when he thought he could get 7. I think it's going to be a lot like that this time. Hamilton, I don't. How are the Isles going to do that though? I don't think the Isles can afford him. Yeah, he's not happening. There's no way he's going back to Boston. Riley to Vancouver and Toronto signs Hamilton. I don't think who's going to take Komarov though. I mean, okay, let me pull up. You're making me pull up the Islanders here. Letty maybe Letty. Komarov, you probably have to buy him out, I would think. Islanders. Okay, who do they got to sign next year? Okay. Oh, they don't need to trade Komarov. Oh yeah, they do. $3 million. They could buy him out. They seem to love him though. They put him up on the first line. Like they love Komarov. So they don't re-sign Travis Zajac. Do you think that they sign Palmieri now or let him go? Because Lee will be back next year. Letty's got 2 years. Yeah, you might be able to get rid of Letty somehow. He's only 30 years old. He's got $5.5 million. Then Mayfield. The problem is if you get, he's a righty. He's a right defenseman, and you don't really need right defensemen on the island. Brian Pulak and Noah Dobson. Noah Dobson's going to have that 4th spot eventually. And then you got Bode Wild coming up. I don't think the Islanders are going to make that play. Where is Morgan Riley from? Well, you can put Kucherov on waivers? Yeah, but if nobody picks him up, you still got to pay him. Nobody's likely going to pick up, not Kucherov. Nobody's going to likely pick up, he's getting paid, Komarov. Unlikely. 34 years old with 2 years at $3 million. I don't think anybody wants to pay their bottom 4 like that, except for the Islanders. I mean, they could. Could the Islanders win the cup? I mean, they could. I'm not going to underestimate that system of Trotz there for sure. No way. Where's Morgan Riley from? I want to say he's from Toronto, but I want to say that's his hometown team, but I'm not sure. He's from Vancouver. That's right. He could go back home to Vancouver. Yeah, if you can keep Palmieri and keep Lee, that would definitely make them solid for next year. I think that's about all they'll do. They'll keep Palmieri, and that's probably all they'll do. The Islanders like to keep a tight-knit group. They like to keep their team together. That's how they win. They win because they have a tight-knit team. They don't make a lot of moves. They keep their guys. They find out who wants to be there, and they sign them. And they keep them as a team, and they work as a unit. So I don't think they're going to want to move around too much because that's just not their style, and it works. So good combination. The Flyers could pick Morgan Riley up. I wouldn't mind that. I just don't know what they would give up. ACL is in the house. Joey Serrano, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Nice. Thank you for coming into the stream. Awesome. Getting everybody in here. So Joey and CL, I'm hearing a lot of talk about Toronto trading Riley and possibly going after Hamilton. This isn't the first time I heard it. Trading Riley and signing Hamilton instead. So you guys are Philly guys. You want Riley, and I know that Steele would hate this because he wants big guys that can. But Riley and Riley is a guy. I don't know. What would you give up for Riley? That's the best way to put it. What would you give up for Riley, or would you even want him at all? James Neal probably will get bought out, yeah. I would think that James Neal is probably going to be bought out, yeah. What has he got left on his contract? Edmonton Oilers. James Neal. What would that buyout look like right now? They got a buyout counter here on Cap Friendly. Buyout calculator. James Neal's on the top of the list. They would cost them $2 million. How come it doesn't tell you that? Oh, it would cost $2 million. Oh, that's contract history. How come they don't have the buyout calculator? Contract history. So it would be $2 million off of this contract. No, I don't know. This, for some reason, I just pressed the buyout calculator and it doesn't tell me. They got 2 years left at 5.7. That would be a lot on the cap for a long time. I still don't know if they're going to buy him out. I think they're going to wait one more year yet. Nice. I'm glad you're in, buddy. It's awesome having you. I'd like to. Koskinen getting bought out, yeah, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure Koskinen's getting bought out. And then they're going to go after a goaltender. I don't know who that will be, but they're going to go after somebody to go with Smith. I think they're going to try to get Allmark out of Buffalo. That's my guess. Allmark from Buffalo with Smith. The question will be how long and how much, and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm not sure, but let's look at, okay, we'll look at some buyout candidates. That's what we're going to do. Cap Friendly has buyout candidates. Popular buyouts. Do you think anybody will take D'Angelo? I don't understand why they don't tell you how much it would cost to buy him out. That's weird. They don't have their buyout calculator. Yeah, Philadelphia takes D'Angelo? No, I don't think so. Maybe the Penguins like to take players that have had problems in the past. That makes sense, actually. That makes some sense. The Penguins, yeah. They've done that before. Yeah, that's a good one. They buy him out, they give him like $1 million, and they basically tell him, you keep your mouth shut and we'll give you more money. If you don't, you're out of here. That's a good one. Mikko Koskinen is not very good. He got overplayed early, but he's at best a 1B. When he's playing at his best, he's a 1B. Is there, is there any way to pry Parayko? It's going to really depend on what St. Louis wants to do here. I think they might be teetering on a rebuild here real soon. But even at that, I don't think so. I don't think there's much chance you're going to get Parayko. Even if they're doing a rebuild, Paraykos are just too hard to find. What's his salary? How much? Where's the Blues? St. Louis. Parayko. He's got 2 years at 5.5. You never know, I guess. It might not be impossible. It would just completely depend on whether they are thinking they're going to completely rebuild here or not. I guess we'll find out if they don't sign Jaden Schwartz. If they don't sign Jaden Schwartz, he could be on the table. That would be awesome. Sure, Brendan Smith could go to the Sens, I guess. They like to have those guys, veterans that can stick up for the young guys. So I don't think to the Leafs now. Who knows? The Leafs have done some weird stuff, so anything can happen with the Leafs. It's like the Leafs are like, okay, we're an analytics team, and then they bring Simmons in and a whole bunch of players that are very poor analytically. So could be. I think Vegas likely. I think the Habs can win it. I don't know. To tell you the honest truth, I don't know. Habs in Vegas tonight. The Leafs need to add Warriors to their lineup and yeah, just keep on building that chemistry up. Not Thornton, not 40-year-old guys that should be maybe coaching now, not playing. They need to add some guys that can, like Coleman or, guys like that. I'm confused too because Vegas has had less time off. Montreal's had a long time. The jet lag shouldn't be a problem. I'd like to know when they flew to Vegas. I imagine it was a couple days ago. It's going to be, yeah, I'm up in the air. I like Vegas. I like Montreal puck line on that. I have no idea about that game. I really don't. Oh, we should look at the games over the weekend and then see what everybody had for picks and stuff like that. Yeah. Let's look at the games over the weekend. Petrie's out? Oh, boy. Oh, that's not good. So it was the Islanders versus the Lightning. Did we not do picks for that game? We forgot to do picks for that game. I don't think we did. We didn't do picks for that game. Steele and I got rambling. We never did picks for the game. My gosh. Anyways, let's do picks for tonight, why not? For whoever's still in here. Second pairing is Kulak and Edmondson. Vegas is at home, yeah. So tonight's game, it's going to be a barn burner. I'll say Canadians. I mean, you got Price, Vegas versus Canadians. You got Price versus Fleury. You got the Golden Knights are going to come out like gangbusters. Montreal's got the bigger defense. Vegas, I don't know. They tore apart Colorado. Vegas 3-1, Mercer. Three-one Vegas. I'd like to see. I can't. No, do I? I don't know. I want Vegas to win. I'm picking Vegas, but Yeah, that's the thing is I don't think the travel is going to be much of a factor. I think the travel will be more of a factor when Vegas goes to Montreal because they're going to have to do it like in one day. That'll be a factor. But in this sense, Montreal's actually getting an advantage here that they were able to travel with all the extra time. Hockey News Reports is taking 2-0 Vegas. Serrano 3-2 Habs. I was kind of looking that way myself. Yeah, it's like Montreal actually has a bit of an advantage in the series because the travel's not going to affect them right away as much. Now, when they go back to Vegas after the 2 there, then it will. And then they got to go. They go back to Vegas. Then they fly back again. They go. That's going to be weird when it's 5-6. Montreal's got to go to Vegas, and Vegas has got to go to Vegas. Then they got to fly back to Montreal for Game 6, and then back to Vegas for Game 7. That is freaking crazy, man. That's why I think whoever does win this series, like you want to get it done fast because you don't want to do that fly back and forth like that. I think CL's taken 4-3 Habs in OT. It feels like an OT. I do agree. I'm going to take 3-2 Vegas OT. Woo! It's two great goaltenders, yeah, but there's a lot of offense on both teams. You texted me? No, you texted me? Oh, got some swag. Nice. Got some swag going on there, buddy. The more I think about it, the more I figure that whoever comes out of Islanders Tampa probably wins a cup. That travel is going to be freaking killer. Like Vegas or Montreal, they want to get this done early, fast. 5 games max. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a Vegas Islanders or Tampa. I don't know. I'm a coin flip on the Islanders and Tampa. Yeah, that's the thing is Price can win this series all by himself pretty much. But then so can Fleury. So I don't know. Like I don't think there's ever been a playoffs where I'm really just unsure. So unsure. To get a Golden Knights jersey with any name and or Louis Eriksson back. I like who you're talking to because I want Vegas to win. I want Vegas to win. I mean, Isles versus Habs, if that's what it turned out, God, it's anybody's guess, really. Anybody's guess. I think I'd probably lean the Islanders there just because it depends on how long that series goes with the Habs in Vegas. If that series goes long, then I probably got to go with the Islanders. I never really actually even took this into consideration before now, but I never really even took that into consideration up until now. Like the travel is going to be absolutely unreal. I did have the travel being a problem for the North teams because they traveled so much in the regular season. So I would say the Islanders. I think the Montreal is going to be too tapped out by the time they get here. But yeah, I want Vegas to win all day. That's who I want to win the cup this year is Vegas with the teams that are available. The Vegas, I just don't want it to be Tampa Bay Lightning. That's for sure. I definitely want the Islanders to beat Tampa Bay. No doubt about that. Tampa Bay, I don't. They just came out. Oh yeah, there was that story where it came out that they did an investigation about Kucherov and what they did and if they circumvented the cap and all that stuff. Well, how are you going to prove that? As long as you got a doctor that says you should do it, you can't prove nothing. First Canadian team to win since the Canadians. Yeah. Yeah, you got Tampa Bay for the series. Yeah, against the Islanders, we'll see. I mean, I'll tell you what, they got to come back with something better than they had first game because they look lost out there. The Islanders just had their number in every single way, and I'm not going to put anything past Trotz. He'll have that Islanders team prepared. So Tampa Bay better be darn well prepared because they are going to be going up against a team that has them figured out already. And I don't know how they're going to unfigure it out. They got to come with some sort of surprise against the Islanders. You said the Isles win the cup? Wow, that's pretty impressive. It's amazing that on paper they should not be winning the cup. Just simple as that. This is a total team effort. Barry Trotz is an icon. He's already a first ballot Hall of Famer. Already, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think the pressure certainly is on the Habs now to finally have a Canadian team win. Yeah, I mean, you would think I'm Canadian, I'd be rooting for the Habs, but I'm not. I love that Vegas team. Lorne in the house. Welcome, buddy. Thanks for coming in, man. Who do you got? Who do you got? Vegas and Montreal tonight, Lorne. Their coach is going to be selected during this round. Where did you get that from? I bet you it's Rick Tocchet. My pick was who do you guys got? Gallant or Tocchet, right? Maybe Gallant. After what Gallant did with the Canadian team there, I mean, you got Vegas? Okay. I think Buffalo would be smart to pony up like a record amounts of money to Gallant. Do you agree? Pony up like record amounts of money for a coach, like $8 million a year. Lane Lambert, that makes sense. A good young guy to get started. Lane Lambert, that makes sense. I think Gallant to Buffalo. Back up the truck. $8 million to look what he did. First of all, he brought Vegas to the finals. Then he goes and does what he did with that Canadian team that lost the first 3 games and then they win gold. Okay. Pierre McGuire. Yeah, they won't have to pony up big money for Lambert yet, though. It's his first contract, so probably be about $2 million a year. Yeah, and he did learn under Trott's system, so that's probably a really good move. If he's picked up Trott's system and all that kind of stuff like that, not a bad guy to throw out there. The problem is, again, Columbus, if you're playing under Trott's system, they have a hard time drawing fans. I thought they would go with a more exciting type coach, but I guess ultimately winning is exciting, though. So you got to win. If you don't win, you're screwed. You can play all exciting all you want, but if you don't win while being exciting, then nobody's going to watch it. So, yeah, that'll be cool to see what Lane Lambert does there if he gets picked up. Sounds like it makes sense. Good, a whole brand new team. So you got a new coach that doesn't have a lot of pressure on him. Yeah, I don't know if the problem is with Columbus is I don't think they can afford a rebuild. But then on the other hand, how are they? No, Kekalainen's going to earn his money on this off season, man. He's got to go out and fill out that roster so it's competitive now. I have a feeling that they're going to trade down their first pick. Kekalainen is an absolute beast at the draft. And I think he's going to consider himself at a greater advantage of most scouts. And he probably has a whole bunch of players that other scouts have off the board lower. And he'll try to trade that pick to like Minnesota for 2 of their picks and have 4 picks in the first round. And knowing him, he'll nail every one of them. Yeah, he's going to have to take 7 at most, I think. 7 at most. I don't think Carolina is going to go 8. Leafs want Cam Atkinson. Well, I don't, like I said, I don't think Cam Atkinson has shown a want to stay in Columbus, and that's really important to them. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I really think they're going to try to add a big time center this year. And I don't know how they're going to do it. They might, we were just talking about St. Louis. Maybe they can look to St. Louis, Scott Shen, and guys like that if they want to rebuild. I think they're going to try to pluck somebody off of a rebuilding team's list if they can find a way to do that. Maybe try Monahan in Calgary. Probably wouldn't cost much. You'd be buying low right now. Monahan, I don't know if that would work really well with Laine since they're both shoot first players. So I don't know about that, but Zach Hyman to Edmonton. I don't know if I like. I think Zach Hyman is great, but I don't. Yeah, depends how much he wants. They won't be taking Gardner. The only way they're taking Gardner, Lauren, is if you add a second round pick or more to that. I just look at it for me. If I'm looking at that Carolina lineup, if you want me to take Gardner, I want one of your first round picks. I want a first round pick. And if you don't want to give it, then I'm not taking Gardner. I could see them taking Brady Shea off your hands, though. But even at that, I want Jake Bean. If they protect Bean and they leave Brady Shea, Let's look at that. This is what I love doing this. Take a team and see, like I get to act like the general manager. Carolina, 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 Carolina. There's a song called that, Carolina, Carolina. He was a first rounder, yeah, but I mean, Shea's getting $5 million for the next 3 years. It's possible. I mean, I may just take Shea in that sense. He's not a bad pickup. He's good defensively. If they leave Shea out, I probably take Shea. I probably won't screw around too much with that. I think I'd be happy with Shea. I'll take Shea off your hands. However, right now they gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll probably leave Fost off. I also like Morgan Geekie. Was Hawk and Paw UFA? He is. Wow. Yeah, I think I'd just take Brady Shea. I'd be happy with that. That's not a bad deal. Pesci, Slavin, and Bean. Pesci, Slavin, and Bean. So Shea, Gardner, Joey Keane. I'll take Joey Keane. Joey Keane's played. Has he played? He's played 2 years professionally. I'll take Joey Keane. Oh, he only had 13 assists last year in 24 games. So let's say I want Joey Keane. What do you do then? I don't know why they would want Reimer back. Hey, everybody in the chat, welcome. We're talking some expansion stuff. Put your team in there. Yeah, but he's played it professionally for over 2 years. It includes the AHL. He's played professionally for over 2 years. I do believe that counts where they have to protect him. Yeah, well, we want him. He's still developing. We want him. Now what are you going to do? Now, what if Carolina says, okay, we're going after Joey Keane. What are you going to do? And they say, well, we want you to take Brady Shea. And I'm going to be like, well, instead, I'm going to be like, I don't want to take Brady Shea. So what are you going to make it for me? You're going to let me take Joey Keane? Okay. So I'll take Joey Keane. But you guys got to keep Brady Shea. Tampa Bay Lightning, that's going to be tough. Let's look at Tampa Bay Lightning. Okay. They're going to be wanting to get rid of, yeah. So I'm going to go back and forth in my mind. I think ultimately I may go with Brady Shea. I'm not sure because Joey Keane, I don't know. I'd have to talk to my scouts about that. If I like him better, I'll take him. If I like his upside better than Shea, and he's cheaper right now, so you give me more cap room. Tampa Bay screwed. Right now, they're going to have to protect Kucherov, Stamkos, Braden Point, Palat, Yanni Gord. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. They leave out Tyler Johnson. 5, 6. Coleman is a free agent. Barclay Goodrow is a free agent. They got Matthew. See, I'd be taking Matthew Schneider. Or Joseph. Sorry, Matthew Joseph. I'd want to take Matthew Joseph, or Oh, you got Chernak. I'm taking Chernak. So they're gonna need to give me a lot to not take Chernak. Or they're gonna have to trade Chernak before the draft. So basically, if I'm Seattle, I'm like, they're going to want me to take Johnson, and I'm going to want I think we talked about this before, a first round pick, a prospect. I think it was Hockey News Reports said Jack Finley. He was a second pick in 57, 57th overall. I'm not sure I like Jack Finley. He's okay. It's hard to see what he'll project to, but Jack Finley and somebody else, like I'm going to want a crap load off your roster to stay away from Chernak and Johnson. If I take Johnson, I'm going to want another player. Johnson, Ross Colton, or Matthew Joseph. I'll take Johnson, Matthew Joseph, Finley, and a first round pick. Yeah, but if I'm going to take Johnson, I'm going to take a first round pick, Ross Colton, Joseph, and Finley. I want that much. Like, I want a lot of prospects if I'm going to take Johnson off your hands. First round picks and everything like that. Makes sense, right? Like, and then if they say, well, we don't want to give you all that, they'll say, okay, no, then I'll take Chernak. And maybe they decide to trade him or whatever, but I wonder if they're going to have time to trade him before the draft. Let's keep it going. Give me some more. Oh, I got to go on break here. What am I doing? I'm having so much fun, I forgot I got to go on break. Okay, guys. We're going to have a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right. That's why everybody left. They knew it was time for break. Don't leave. Listen to the fine programming. This is how I pay my bills. Yeah, I'm having such a good time, man. This is great stuff. You guys rock. All right, going to break. I'll be back in 3 minutes or so.
Greetings. This is Steel Flyers from the Steel Flyers All Sports Network, and we have two very special guests. We are delighted to be joined by Tracy Musser and Nicole Howard from the Canine Country Club Resorts. Tracy and Nicole are both managers for CCC Resorts and work at the Windsor or at the club, one of two locations both in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Congratulations on your 30th year anniversary of being in business. Let me start off by saying this. Steel Flyer stands behind this company 100%. Taken care of Steel Flyer's furry friend for the last 2 years now, and they are a one-stop shop for everything your furry friend needs. In fact, let's find out what our friends at CCC Resorts offer. Nicole, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. What are some of the great boarding services that you guys offer, and what do we have to do in order to get our furry friends taken care of when we are unable to travel with them?
Well, we like to bring everybody in for a tour first. That way they can see the behind the scenes, they can see where they stay, they can see where they play, and then we explain all of the fun things that we can add on to their reservation, whether it be one of our packages, either a nature walk, a ball time, or even a cuddle time.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Boy, it sure sounds like a resort to me. So how are you today, Tracy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Tracy, tell me, is it true that you guys have both an indoor and an outdoor pool at the Windsor location?
It is true. We've got one of each, so we're able to offer year-round swimming. The indoor pool is a great option for dogs who are swimming for therapy or rehab. It's got that sloped entry so they can wade into the water. Our outdoor pool is a little bit larger, and it's 4 foot deep the whole way across. And both of them are saltwater pools, so it's really easy on the dog's skin and coat.
Wow, that's very awesome. So then during the summer months, you have a much deeper pool outside and then a sloped entry shallow pool indoors for the dogs. Tracy, tell the folks how we can get some pool time.
Well, the first thing everyone does is come for an intro swim. We use that time to make sure the dog is comfortable in the water. We make sure they know how to get out of the pool safely, and we go over all the pool rules and etiquette with the clients as well. After that, they're able to schedule private appointments where they have the pool to themselves, or they can invite friends and have a whole group swim going on.
So after a dip in the pool, then it would have to be off to the groomers, right? I mean, our furry friends cannot go out looking their best. Nicole, what are some of the great services your top notch groomers provide?
Our groomers, they specialize in full service grooms. We can do the basics, whether it be just a bath and a brush out or a blowout. Or for the extra pampered pooches, we can do nail dremels, we can do deodorizing soaks, and also facials.
Wow, man, that sounds like a resort if you ask me. Tracy, I know one of the main programs here at CCC Resorts is the WAGS program. The Steel Flyers dog is enrolled in this program. So why don't you tell the folks what is involved in this and how they can get enrolled?
Yeah, the WAGS program is our primary daycare option at the Windsor. It's designed to be a structured program for people who are looking for a set routine for their dog. They all come on the same days each week, which allows them to have set friends, and we know exactly what's going on with each group. So we do a little bit more activities and we build more into their daily routine there. But we've got other daycare options as well for people looking for a little less commitment. We do an hourly care where you can drop them off and just pay by the hour. We also do a day stay option, which is great for the dogs that prefer human friends instead of making friends with other dogs. And then we have a traditional daycare option as well if you're looking for the occasional outing for your dog.
Wow, there you have it. A full service groomer, a daycare program, and an indoor and outdoor pool. What more could you ask for? Sure seems like CCC Resorts has everything covered. Remember, DOG, depend on God.
Okay, here we're back. All right. Oh, this is fun. Let's keep doing this expansion stuff. I'm liking it. I love expansion draft. It's like the coolest thing ever. CL, that might be an opportunity there for the Flyers to use Patrick with the expansion draft. They might be able to use him to get them like to not take a player, but I don't know. I'm not sure what Philadelphia would be worried about with expansion. Let's take a look. Take a look. Philadelphia Flyers. See, Jacob Voracek, I'd leave him off. I'd leave Jacob Voracek off the protection list. If they take him, they take him. We can find a better player for $8 million than Voracek, I think. At this stage, I'd be leaving him off. What do you think about that? 1, 2. Either that or give them Patrick and a pick to take Jake Van Riemsdyk off your hands. To free up your $7 million that way. Something like that. Let's see who they are going to have available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like Nicholas Oak, it's either going to be O'Bell or Lawton, O'Farabee. Has Farabee played professionally for 2 years? Did we got to protect Farabee? Yeah, I think Farabee's got to be protected.
And they are a one-stop shop.
I would use them in the expansion draft to try to, because to try to allure the team away from taking somebody, but I don't know who. We don't need to worry about. We're protecting Provorov, Sanheim, Myers. I don't think we need to worry about that. If we got to protect Farabee, we could be in trouble. Because then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You might have to leave Scott Lawton out. And I imagine they would pick up Scott Lawton if given the opportunity. But that was just a thought. I don't know if we'd have to do that either. Besides that, maybe, like I said, try to package him with to get rid of a contract. Try to package him somewhere to get rid of a contract. Like James Van Riemsdyk and Patrick to somewhere for, like somewhere like Detroit or something like that for and a first round pick or a second round pick or something. And a second round pick. Yeah. No way you're letting Farabee go. No way. No way you're letting Farabee go. So if you, like, say you could go, okay, we don't want to lose Lawton. We'll give you Patrick and Samuel Morin and a second round pick or something like that, just because we want to keep Lawton. Something like that. If we wanted to do that, or you just let Lawton go and then use Patrick as a you might be able to get a second round pick for Patrick. I don't know what the market is for him right now. Probably not very good. I try to use him in a package to get rid of one of the contracts. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so you give Patrick and, like you tell them a bunch of players that they can choose from. You can take Braun, Moran, maybe even Hag. One of those guys and Patrick, we'll give you Patrick and Hag for Lawton. And Seattle may think, you know what? Patrick could turn things around here, look a lot better, and be good. Like, he could be good for us. So, and they're in a situation where they can afford to take a risk like that. A little bit of a high risk, but a very high reward if it pans out. Yeah, like he doesn't look good right now at all. But we got to remember he didn't play for a whole year, whatever his injury was, and then he came into a condensed season. But I think you're probably right. I think his value is so low that I don't even know if we'd be able to do that. His value is pretty low out there right now. So. Francis said first goalie, defense second, centers third, and wingers fourth. Yeah, of course. That's just the common way. That's what I thought. Ron Francis is going to build from goalie out. He's an old school way of thinking. He won't be doing what Vegas does and trying to pick a whole bunch of veterans and going for the cup. No doubt about it. I think he'll go sign a free agent goaltender like Darcy Kemper or somebody like that. He's going to get a really good goaltender first. I don't even know who Jay Berger is. Yeah. I think he'll go after a free agent goaltender that's relatively young, Like, he probably isn't going to worry about goaltenders in the expansion draft. There's not too much out there. So let's have fun. We got a half an hour. Let's build this team, guys. Do you want to build this team or what? And maybe I'll do this. This is what we'll do. We got a lot of people in here now. I'll start recording from here, and we'll do expansion. We'll do an expansion building team, and I'll send it out to the land. So right here, we're talking. This is our show right now, guys. I talk about the Pearl of Wisdom NHL show that happens 3 till 5. I better make sure that I have. Okay, let me do this again. I got to make sure I got the time here. Live streaming. This should be fun. Okay. 115.47. Okay, everybody. This is the Pearl of Wisdom show that I tell you about in my videos. We are going to now just go for about 45 minutes talking nothing but expansion, what Ron Francis will do, how will he build his team. We're not. It's not really a mock draft as much as just ongoing discussion about who Ron Francis will get. And this is the kind of stuff we do on our show. I got people in the chat here. You can come in the chat 3 to 5 Eastern, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. We do this kind of frolic and they have good times. Okay. Who is it? Somebody just put in here that that Ron Francis is going to start out with goaltending. He's going to build through defense, then through center, then through wingers. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what goaltenders will Ron Francis pull out of the free agent market, because that's likely where we're going to get it. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. Somebody knocking on the door. Okay, let me try this again. We are going to this is the Pearl of Wisdom show. I'm clipping this out, going to put it out as a video. We're going to talk Seattle expansion, who they may get for Ron Francis has come out and said he's going to start building from the goaltender, then the defense, then the center, then wingers. Okay, we're going to look at free agents he might pick up, how he might build the team. We're going to look team by team, and this will be continuous. We're not going to be able to do this all in a half an hour, but this is the stuff we do on our channel, so I'm going to send it out to everybody to see the kind of thing we do. We got lots of people in the chat here, and they're going to be telling us they're going to be helping us go who they think is going to be available and all that kind of stuff like that. First of all, we're going to go down to the free agent list, and you know what? I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to bring our window capture up, and we're going to look at the free agent list. Because I think he's going to sign a free agent goaltender right off the bat. I think the first thing he's going to do, that Francis is going to do, is find a goaltender. I don't think there's much for goaltenders going to be available besides Drigger. And I just have a feeling that he's going to want somebody a little more for sure than Drigger. So let's look up free agents, NHL free agents. We'll look at just goaltenders. Can you guys see that all right? What the heck? Oh, Grubauer. What if they scooped Grubauer? All positions. I'm pretty sure that Avalanche will be signing him, but they haven't signed him yet. They probably have a deal in the works already. So they could try Frederick Anderson if they think he's not injured, but Linus Ullmark again. I'll go back to Linus Ullmark. That seems like the guy that they're gonna. He's younger. I think it would be good for Linus Ullmark to go to an expansion team like this. He'd almost surely be the number one goaltender. That sounds like something that they would do. And then they would try to get a veteran. They'll probably get the veteran through the expansion draft rather than free agency. But Linus Ullmark is the guy that I peg to become a Seattle. And I hate that because I'm an Oilers fan and I want him to be an Oiler. But Linus Ullmark is the guy that I would say. What do you guys think? Do you think he goes, well, Tuukka Rask isn't going to go to expansion team. Pekka Rinne, maybe. They're not going to use him as a number one. Rant is too injured all the time. Ranter's too injured, though. Wedgwood would be a good third guy. Do you think he's going to go with Mrazek because he knows him from Carolina? Well, he didn't know him in Carolina, though. Mrazek wasn't there when he was there, I don't think. I don't think it's too injured, though. If Raanta gets a contract, it's going to be like for nothing because he's injured way too often. I could see him going after Laurent Brossoit as a backup, but I think more than likely they'll find their other goaltender on the free agent list or in the actual draft. And who would that be? You know what? Maybe not. There might not be anybody. Oh, how about Georgiev? Georgiev. Drigger Georgiev from the Rangers. I think he'll go. That would be a good platoon. Georgiev and Linus Ullmark, and whoever wins the number one wins the number one. Because as of right now, the Rangers got to let Georgiev go, and I don't. Let's look at the Rangers, see what kind of guy he would pick up there. They don't have to protect too many players because most of them are second round picks. Can you guys see that all right? Hopefully you guys can see that all right. They got to protect Panarin, Zibanejad. Buchnevich, I believe, is a restricted free agent, so they could protect him. Strome is an unrestricted in 2022. 2, 3, 4. They don't need to protect Lafreniere. They do got to protect Heidel. 5, 6. See, there's not much left for them to pick. Georgiev would probably be their best bet. I don't think they have to protect Fox yet. So Lindgren, Trouba, Libor Hajek. There's not much there. Georgiev would be the guy they would pick. Okay, let's look at some teams with good defense and who they're going to have to protect. And we'll say, okay, we'll play a little. So far, we've got Georgiev, and we're assuming Linus Ullmark will go there. I have a feeling Linus Ullmark would be all over that. He's probably not going to, besides staying in Buffalo, Linus Ullmark probably will not get a better chance at a number one spot, except for maybe the Edmonton Oilers. Where would I rather live, Edmonton or Seattle? I would say Seattle. Vanacek from the Caps. Yeah, there you go. They could go with Vanacek instead of Georgiev. But, okay, let's look at Washington. Washington's going to have, you can get a better player from Washington than you can get anywhere else, I think. like as a player. I think Washington's kind of screwed. I heard that Washington may give up TJ Oshie. And if that was the case, I would select TJ Oshie. And then, because he has a no movement clause, though. So he'd have to waive. No, it's not a no trade. It's a minimum no trade clause. So you could pick TJ Oshie and then trade him at the deadline for some picks. I'm sure somebody would love to have him. But you might get Brendan Dillon or Justin Schultz. I'd rather take Georgiev. And instead of wasting it on another goaltender with Washington, they got to choose between Justin Schultz or Brendan Dillon. I would take either one of those guys. Now, they may do something. I brought this up too. He may stay with the Caps, and then you don't have that option. Yeah. Now, what Washington may do is say, look, we don't want Dillon. We want to keep Dillon. Let's work out a deal that you don't take Dillon. Okay? And then I could say, okay, Vanacek, and they'll give you a bunch of players you can choose. Say Daniel Sprong. I really like Daniel Sprong. But I think Daniel Sprong, yeah, we'll say we'll give you Dillon. You give us Daniel Sprong and Vanacek. How's that? Would you guys do that? Would you give up Sprong and Vanacek and keep Dillon? Or maybe he says we want to keep Vanacek too, so I want Sprong. I'm going to want more players than that then. I'm probably going to want some draft picks and a whole bunch of stuff. But I really like Daniel Sprong. He put up some good numbers last year. He looked really good. Seattle's probably going to have a hard time finding offense. So maybe not a bad idea to get a Daniel Sprong. Well, it's just up in the air what he's going to be, how he's going to be injury-wise. Freddie Anderson. That's the problem there. I don't know. I don't know if they're souring, but it seems that his injury problems are becoming a real problem. Do you think Dillon is more valuable, so you wouldn't do that deal? So, okay, what deal are you not doing here? Washington is saying they want to keep Dillon. But, so we're going to say, okay, we want Sprong. How about Sprong and Sheary? Or Sprong and Garnet Hathaway. Because Hathaway is going to be unprotected. We get to choose like two players from their unprotected list instead of taking Dillon. So like Garnet Hathaway, Daniel Sprong, and a pick. Something like that. Yeah, and Anaheim took him, and then they traded him for 2 seconds, I believe. That's Anderson, sorry for the people in the video. That's better. So Daniel Sprong, Connor Sheary, and a second-round pick. So we don't pick Dillon. Or Garnet Hathaway. I don't know which one I would want, Sheary or Hathaway. Which one would you want, Sheary or Hathaway? I like... Yeah, I mean, he's 32 years old. I don't know if an expansion team really... Possibly. I mean, they are going to need some leaders there. But I have a feeling they'll be able to pick that up through free agency or Sherry maybe. Something like that. So we got Sherry. We got that's 2 wingers. Sherry and Sprong. And we got a 2nd round pick. Who else do we have? We have Gorgiev, and we went out and got Linus Allmark for our goaltending. Now we're going to look at what other teams have really good defense that we might be able to pluck some defense off of. Well, Tampa Bay, as of right now, we're going to have Chernak. So that would be amazing. Canes, yeah. You said they're going to go Bean. So we got Brady Shea. We're just going to go with Brady Shea. Colorado and Tampa. Colorado, I don't think they have to... Oh, that's some news that came out today too. Johnson is going to waive his no-trade clause. So, Colorado will be able to protect Colorado. Colorado will be able to protect Gerard, Taves, and Makar. Makar does need to be protected. So we're going to have Ryan Graves. We got Ryan Graves. So far we got Ryan Graves and Shea. That's not too shabby. Makar will have to be protected, but Johnson is going to waive his no-trade clause. So, and we're not taking Johnson. No way. We'll take Graves. So we got Graves. We got Brady Shea. Now let's look at Tampa Bay. We need a righty, though. I think Shea's a left winger, a left defense, right? We need a righty. We would have Chernak, but I don't think they're gonna try to work a deal. But we got a lot of leverage to Tampa Bay, a lot of leverage. Like they got Chernak out there. I want Chernak. So if they just give up Chernak, we're taking Chernak. Shea is a lefty. We'd have Chernak. And then they can, but I mean, if they try to work out a deal with us and say, take Johnson, then I want like a crap load back. I'll take Tyler Johnson and Yanni Gord. Like if I'm not going to take Chernak and I want Cal Foote, and I mean, just on, and a 1st round pick, and like, no, Savard's a free agent now. But if they don't do anything, I just can't see them just giving up on Chernak like that. They don't really have anybody to replace him. Cal Foote they didn't play him much last year. Like I said, unless you work out a deal. You could get a mittful from Tampa Bay. Yanni Gord can play center. Andre Palat is a free agent after next year. Yeah, I would go Yanni Gord or Matthew Joseph too. You could ask for the moon. If they don't want Chernak, if they want you to cover Chernak and they want you to take Johnson, yeah, I want Gord, Matthew Joseph, and Cal Foote, and a first round pick or something like that. So let's say we got Cal Foote, Yanni Gord is our center, and we got Matthew Joseph, who I really like. He can play center too. Does that make sense? Does Tampa do that? Or do they just let Chernak go? I think they do that before they let Chernak go. If they don't, we got our right defenseman. Chernak would be our guy. Okay, let's look at, what about the Dallas Stars? Alexiak is a free agent right now. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, you could, I suppose. Maroon really loves that. I don't know. I think that would be bad for the room. He's older too. We don't really need that. Okay, we're moving on. Yeah. Heiskanen, Lindell, and Klingberg. Jamie Oleksiak, if you could work out a deal to get him, that'd be good. He's a free agent, and we got a window to open. That would be our left side covered. And we'd have a pretty big D, too. We could just take Khudobin for our veteran goaltender. We could take Khudobin for our veteran goaltender. He's 35. Stephen Johns has called it a Alexiak, Shea, Graves, Chernak. Yeah. That's assuming we can sign him. He's a free agent, so he can go wherever he wants. I know Winnipeg's going to be going hard after him. Where's he from? He's from Toronto. Yeah, I have a feeling Winnipeg's going to pick him up. Winnipeg wanted to get him like really bad at the trade deadline, but Dallas ended up keeping him. But I think he ends up going to Winnipeg. I have a feeling we're not going to get him. Because if he's from Toronto, Winnipeg's like right there. To me, it would make total sense for him to go to Winnipeg if he's getting the right amount of money. So probably not, although the weather. As far as forwards are concerned, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Oh my gosh, they could leave a lot of people off here. Kivartan, we could get Kivaranta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably going to keep Dennis Gurianov. We could get Kivaranta, Joel Kivaranta. He's scored a few goals. Wouldn't be a bad winger to get. Like I said, assuming we can't get Alexiak off of free agency, it doesn't really leave much. Joel Hanley, nah. Fadoon or somebody like that. Yeah, you could not go with Gorgiev. You could take somebody else off of the Rangers and go with Khudobin. I think that's what I would do. That'll give you a couple, a good veteran to help out Allmark become a better goaltender. He's worked as a 1B lots. He's only making $3.33 million. Hey, Van Hook, we're doing Seattle expansion frolic. So far, we have Shea, Graves, Chernak, Matthew Joseph, and who is the other guy we got? Oh, Gord, Yanni Gord, Matthew Joseph. We made a deal with Tampa Bay. No, Van Hook is taking the Knights 4-1. Okay. And we had Ryan Graves. That would be cool. Now, I want to know, there's one thing I'm not sure about is, are they going to be able to trade players before the deadline? I imagine they will have time to do that. Will they have time to, will there be a window of opening for trades to trade players to other teams before the expansion draft? I don't think so, though. Yeah, he was very safe, though. Francis was pretty safe. He's probably going to be the same here. Okay, let's see what other teams have defense. Let's get some more defense going here. We'll see if we can get our defense done, top 6 done before we finish today. What about the Nashville Predators? They got those big 3, right? Yeah, Nashville Predators could be giving up a pretty darn good player too. They had a lot of injuries. Dante, they're going to protect probably Ellis, Ekholm, and Josie, right? So we could get Dante Fabro as our right wing, right defenseman. Are they going to let Dante Fabro go, really? Yeah, Vegas is exempt. Dante Fabro. I'll take Dante Fabro all day. And like forwards, 1, 2. I don't think they're going to get a better forward than Dante Fabro. Five, 6. Maybe you could get Rocco Grimaldi. I really like him, but if I can get Fabro instead, I'll probably take Fabro. So what would that be for our defense now? Lauren, you keeping up? We got Graves, Fabro, Foot, not you had it here. Let me check. You wrote it all down here. Oh, Shea. We got Shea, Graves. No, we didn't take Chernak. We made a deal. So we got Shea, Graves, Foot, Fabro. Does that sound good to you? No, we're not going to get Chernak because we made a deal to get Joseph, Gord, and Alexiak. I'm assuming can't get him as a free agent because I have a feeling Winnipeg's going to get him. Nolan, yeah, Foot from Tampa Bay. He's a 22-year-old righty. Going to be ready to play this year. Now, if they think Foot is going to be as good as Chernak, we might get Chernak. I don't know if they think so or not. If they do, though, we could just get Chernak and it's over with. And then we'd have Graves, Shea, Fabro, and Chernak. That's not a bad D, man. That's a pretty darn good D so far. If we get that. Okay, let's finish off. Let's get our defense done by time 3 o'clock hits. Not bad at all, yeah. Arizona won't give up too much. Oh yeah, Minnesota. That would right now we would get Dumba. Right now we'd get Dumba unless they work out a deal. Just imagine that. You get add Dumba to that now. Dumba would rock. I have a feeling they're going to try to work out a deal there, but it's going to be one heck of a deal. If you want me to stay away from Dumba, then, I mean, you're going to have to give me a lot. I'm going to have to, I want like Matthew Boldy or something like that. I want like Nico Sturm, Matthew Boldy or something like that. She's only 26 years old making $6 million. Yeah, I'm going to want a lot. He's still young. He's still good. I mean, he's a lot better than we're going to get out there right now. I would definitely take Matthew Dumba. Anybody, do you think they're going to give up Matthew Dumba, though? I don't know. If they think Kalen Allison is ready, I suppose. But I heard that they were going to try to go, okay, I heard they were going to try to protect 4 defensemen, keep Dumba. Well, I mean, I wouldn't take Rask over Dumba. So, no way. You could work out a deal where you get, let's say they go 8 skaters, okay? Say, get Zach Parise to waive his no movement clause. And I think he'll do that because nobody's going to take that, right? So, but you can only protect 4 forwards now. Zuccarello, yeah, Johansson and Benino are free agents. Leave out Rask, Kevin Fiala, Jordan Greenway. So Zuccarello, Fiala, Greenway, and Eck, and that would leave Hartman out. Wow. And Nico Sturm. But you wouldn't have anybody they could. That's probably what they're going to do. Hey, Hockey News reports. They are protecting Fowler. I think they go 4 defensemen and they leave out Hartman. And I think that's, and like you said, they'll probably go with Rask. They'll take Victor Rask. So we got a center in Victor Rask. They'll work out a deal that they don't take Hartman. I know they love Hartman quite a bit. I don't think they have to protect Boldy yet. That would be a problem. Has he played in the AHL long enough? No, they don't have to protect Boldy. I think they would. I think Lauren is right, though. I think they would take Rask because he's familiar with Rask, and Rask is healthy. The only problem when he was in Carolina was he had a bad injury, but he looks like he's okay. So Rask is the guy. We're not going to get a defenseman from Minnesota. Let's go to another team. New York Islanders. Somebody said New York Islanders. So, for the New York Islanders, Look at their depth chart. They're going to have to, they'll protect Palak, Pulak. Might get Mayfield if they protect Letty. But Letty's making 5.5. They may just want to get Letty off the books. They may leave Letty out. Oh, yeah. They just going to let Letty go for nothing? They can't, I don't think they can trade him now. So what do you go, Letty or Mayfield? I think they would keep, Mayfield's a little younger. Oh, do they got to protect Dobson? Oh, no. Oh, if they got to protect Dobson, they're in trouble. I don't know if he's played enough games. Did he? He's like right on the cusp. Well, there's no way they're going to leave Dobson out there. There's no way. They'll protect Dobson before Letty or Mayfield. They'll protect Dobson. But I don't know if he's played enough games. Let me see. Dobson hasn't played enough games. Thank you. Okay, so they don't have to protect Dobson. Okay, so then they will get Letty or Mayfield. Probably. Wow. It's actually a tough call because Mayfield only makes 1.45. But Letty is probably would have some value at the trade deadline. So would Mayfield. Which one would you do? So let Letty go. And Letty doesn't have a no trade clause or anything like that, right? Yeah, they will protect Pellick for sure. Okay, so yeah, we let Letty go. Wow, that's going to be a lot off their defense, losing Letty. We can use him for a pick later or whatever. So now we got our left side is full. And somebody said Montreal. So we'll go to Montreal. That's going to, Montreal will have a tough time here, I think. Sherratt, Weber. Weber is, I wonder if Weber would waive. Probably not, eh? Nah, they'd pick him for sure. So Sherratt, they're going to have to let Kulak go. We get Brett Kulak, unless they work out a deal. Yeah, I would be all over Kulak if I could get him. Let's see. What's Kulak's contract like? Yeah, Kulak would be the guy. There we go. We filled out our defense. We have too many lefties, but that's okay. We'll find a way to get some righties some other way. It's not a bad defense at all. Got a pretty good defense. Oh, they can do that if they want. Re-sign him. It doesn't, who am I to say? Everything Montreal does turns to gold, so. We got our defense. We'll try to fill out our forwards tomorrow. We got about 5 minutes left. So anyways, that's the way we do it here at Pearls of Wisdom Industries. We worked out a defense. Let us know what you think in the comment section about the players that we took. I'm sure there's more teams out there that we could pick from and more players we could pick from. This was just a fun little thing that we like to do because this is what we do. It's fun. So that'll be our full 42. Have a great day, everybody. Lots of love to you. Okay, bye. Now, I'm not leaving. No, I just finished the last. We're going to make that into a video. I'm going to make that into a video, what I just did. All that stuff that we did, I'm going to make. Yeah, right. I got to shut off my. There we go. We're back. So that was fun. That would be a pretty solid defense. I still think they could make the playoffs. Like when you look at some of the players that they could pull out there. Yeah, they'd have to get lots of first overall. Yeah, 2 firsts. The thing about Colorado, like Graves is really good, but one thing we didn't look at is they're going to have a lot of forwards available too. Nichushkin, they may, because he's had. Colorado's going to have a lot of forwards available. I really like Nichushkin, but I'd probably take Graves over him. But they could even have Andre Burakovsky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jonas Donskoy could be left available. Tyson Jost could be left available. Saad to Habs? Yeah, that makes some sense. Yeah, I think they might protect Burakovsky because he's only 26. Okay, you got Rantanen, McKinnon, Landeskog. Saad's a free agent. That's 3. Nazem Kadri? At this point, I think I'd leave Kadri available and protect Burakovsky and Donskoy. JT Compher. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'd leave Kadri available, and I still think that if you did that, they would still take Tyson Jost or Graves. If Graves is available, who are you going to take? If Graves is available, are you going to take Nazem Kadri, or are you going to take Kadri back to the Leafs? Or are you going to take Graves? I think they're going to take Graves. Oh, I'm protecting Taves over Graves. No doubt about that. I like Graves, but, I mean, that's a little No. I'm protecting Taves over Graves. Yeah, I would take Graves too. Not even a hard decision. I agree. So I would leave. Now, if you did, if you protected Kadri and went Donskoy, maybe, I mean, it's hard to find shooters. He scored a lot of goals this year. And he plays a good two-way game. He scored, 17 goals in 51 games? That's like, it's like a high 20s goal pace. I wonder, Colorado works out a trade with Tampa and Nashville. What would that look like? Yeah, I mean, I kind of get what you're talking about. Like, Chernak would go to Nashville. Maybe. Is that what you're talking about? No. That'd be, make that trade up and tell me what it looks like. Oh, shoot, I got to go. That's my full 42. We got her done. So again, I'm having so much fun. I'm forgetting what I got to do. I guess that's our full 42 today, boys and girls. I'll be here tomorrow between 3 and 5 again. And Wednesday night, I'm going to be on Off the Wall John's show. And remember to be looking out for the Sports Desk show with Peyton on the radio and Steele. And yeah, we'll do some more expansion draft talk tomorrow because it is fun. I enjoy it. I like it a lot. And we like to do what we like to do here at Pearls of Wisdom Industries, don't we? Yes, we do. Okay, gotta go. That's my full 42. Everybody have a great day. See you tomorrow. Okay, bye.